Alright, so we've got our robot. Now if you look at him, he's just stiff, isn't he? He's just like standing there. And so part of modelling is to pose your character so it looks interesting. And so we can do that. And once we've posed him, actually, then we can do these cables that are coming out. And so if you take a look, first of all, it seems like he's walking, he's stepping forward, and also the arms are posed differently. So let's take a look at what we can do. Now I'm going to grab this arm here, so the left arm, and I'm going to isolate it. And with the pivot D, I'm going to move the pivot V. I'm going to snap it about here, and then D, and then just move it across and snap it about here. And so what we have is kind of like where the arm should move around here, you see. And so if you take a look at the shoulder, it's at an angle, so we can also move the arm at an angle, so it kind of follows the angle of the shoulder. I'm also going to just like bring it back a bit there. Okay, so it's kind of lifted up a little bit. Now I want this to be kind of like the elbow, where it kind of bends forward. So the bottom part of the arm, Control G, we can say is the elbow group. And let's center the pivot, and we want the pivot to be, let's have a look, maybe about here. Let's take a look. Alright, so we can actually like bend this, you see. So it's kind of like an elbow. We can bend it and maybe twist it around so it's kind of like, yeah. And then just kind of bring it in a bit. And there you go. So that's much better. Now you've got a gap here, that's fine, because what we can do is grab the the geometry here and do an extrude. So what we can do is W for move and just bring it forward like this. So what we're doing is we're modelling the elbow basically. And let's take a look at it. Yeah, let's take a look at it from different angles to see if we've got it fine. That looks fine there. Um, just maybe bring it in a little bit there. Okay, so then you grab this where the bend is and do a bevel, segments too, and just bring the fraction in so it's nice and tight. So now when you hit 3, we've got an elbow. There you go. It's that simple. So we've posed this arm, and the next thing is maybe we can pose this arm as well. So again, we want to place the pivot, say here, and then just bring it into about here. And let's just something like that. Maybe bend that backwards a little bit. And then bend this bit forward. So again, this is the Control G and it's the right elbow group, because this was the left elbow group. I forgot the left bit, so we can just squeeze it in there. So L underscore, there we go. So this is the right elbow group, and let's place the pivot maybe about around here. There we go. Do 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 do. There we go, and we can bend it, and maybe outwards a bit. There we go. And so it always looks better when it's bent. There we go. Dang, dang, dang. And again, just need to create an elbow. It's that simple. Extrude. Bring it down. So I'm just going to do this slightly different than the previous technique. I'm going to show you a different technique, and that is we're going to rotate it. So D, place it here. Oh, come on, there, and then just rotate it. See? Let me show you again. Control Z. I'm just going to do it. Just rotate it. And just bring it down a bit more. There we go. Alright, so there you have it. And what you can do is grab this and just rotate this a little bit as well. Make sure you align the rotation. There we go. So now just bevel it to bring the fraction in, and you've got an elbow, you see, where the arm bends. It's that simple. And what else can we do? Well, the legs as well. So we want the legs to be moving forward. So let's have a look at what we can do. So maybe place the pivot here. Boom. So the leg swings like that. Well, actually, it will swing at the hip here. So there we go. I actually prefer it here for now anyway. Let's just put it there for now. D, V, middle mouse, snap. Yeah, alright, okay. So we want to bring this forward, so like that. Now the problem with this is when the whole foot moves, it's still going to look stiff. Okay, so what I want to do is move this, the arm, but then this bit needs to move back down. You see, so basically, this. Let's have a look at the knee. This needs to be in a separate group. So Shift P. I'm just going to take it out of the leg group for now. Okay, so I'm going to move this leg like that forward. Now these bottom of the leg parts, I've selected them all in here, so I just went click drag with my mouse, then Control G. So I can say this is kind of like the calf, so this is the right calf group. Center the pivot. So I'm going to move this forward, but this part here, the foot needs to come forward. So let's do that. Also, I want to just kind of move this to the side maybe a little bit. Move that to the side. We'll see. Maybe that will do. Right, so what am I doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to grab the... I just want these parts here, and then I'm going to grab the lattice. And so I'm going to do two. Right click, lattice points, grab these top lattice points and move them forward. And so as you start seeing, like the leg is bending into shape. Like that. and I like it. So delete history. Now when the leg bends, the character has to come down a little bit, which we will do that in a minute. So that looks pretty cool. Now we can do the same here. We don't want it to be straight, so what we can do is grab these parts of the leg, shift P to take him out of the group, but we can say this is now the left calf group. Okay, and again we can just spin it around to the side. Now what do we want to do with this leg? And so we can DV middle mouse snap here. We can maybe spin it back, or maybe just a little bit. So something like that. Let's have a look at the front view. There we go. It's easier to deal with. So something like that maybe. So again we can grab these pieces here and lattice. Drop it down to 2. Right click, lattice points, grab the top bits and then just bring them forward. Something like that. I think that'll do. Go back to object mode, delete history, and just kind of move these into position. Now that seems not too bad. So now we need to grab everything and just bring it down a bit. There we go. Now here the leg needs to go a bit higher. Now normally what happens is not only do they rotate this way, but it also rotates kind of like you get like a shift. So I'll show you what I mean in the lattice. And what happens is let's have a look. A division here 3. I only want it to affect up to here, and so if we grab these lattice points we can actually raise a bit like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So what we want is maybe 4. So I'm just going to raise it up, because as you're walking your hips not only go back and forth, they also kind of move up and down. So this will kind of move up a little bit, kind of. Just like that. So this will be a bit higher than this. So this hip and leg will be a bit higher than this one. Right, okay, so with that done, we've done some nice posing. Another thing is maybe the back is too straight. I don't like the back being a bit too straight. Maybe he's bent forward a bit. I don't know. We can experiment with it. So click drag and yeah, let's grab the spine as well. And I'm just trying to think. Anything circular, deselect, or else it will just deform it and it's no longer circular. Although these bits here are circular, but I don't think they're going to be noticed. Let's see what happens here. So deform, lattice, and basically what I want to do is just kind of bring it down to about here and just kind of bend it forward like that. You see. So he's kind of bent forward. Me no like, me no like, no like. I don't like it. What you can do, if you want to, is deselect the legs. So we've got the head, shoulders, chest, body, arm, spine. Control G. Put them in a separate group, and let's call it like the top half group. And then place the pivot at the base of the spine, like there. And then what you can do is you can bend it forward. You see, it's like it's bent forward a little bit. And also, when you're walking, your body doesn't just kind of move back and forth like your legs. It actually kind of swings to the side as well. So we can actually just like swing it a little bit to the side like that. And there you have it. So he's nicely posed, as you can see. I might bend this back actually. No, that looks pretty weird. Yeah, I kind of like it forward. Yeah, he's moving forward. There we go. Alright, so he is now posed, and now because he's posed, what we can do is work on these cables, which we will do next video.